In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an image black and white and then change its contrast and exposure in the free online app Snapseed. So this is great for editing images on your phone. First thing that you want to do is go to the upper left-hand corner and press open, and then open the image that you want to edit. The next thing that you're going to do is actually ignore the look section. That's just filters, and anyone can do filters. I want to show you how to have a lot more control than that. So ignore the look section, and we are going to use the tools. So this is much closer to what you would do, say, in Photoshop. So the first thing that we're going to do is click on Tune Image, and then you'll see on the second icon from the left at the bottom is some little sliders. We're going to click on that and choose saturation. So the first thing that we're going to do is desaturate all the color. And at the very top it says saturation 0, and there's a line. So if you take your thumb and slide it from the right side to the left side, you will see on that little status bar at the top that I am removing the color. I am desaturating the image. So that's the first thing that you want to do, is take all the color out of the image. But now when I look at this image, I have some whites, but I don't really have some blacks, so I want to change the contrast. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't give you levels, which would give you a lot more control, but it does actually have at least a contrast slider. So at the bottom of the screen again, on that second to the left, the little sliders, I could choose contrast. That's one way I could do it. And I could slide up or down to bring in darker darks and lighter lights. So over to the left, it actually grays everything out. If you slide it over to the right, it's going to make the blacks blacker and the whites whiter. So this was it originally, so I could do it that way. So if I don't want to accept that, I can press the X in the lower left-hand corner. If I do want to accept it, I can choose the check mark in the lower right-hand corner. So I'm going to actually say no. Oops, I have to do that all again. Sorry. Tools, Tune Image. At the bottom, go and desaturate. Then choose the tools again. And I am going to click on shadows, because right now I just want to affect the darkest areas. And so I can either slide to the right, which actually lightens my shadows, or I can slide to the left, which darkens my shadows, but it does not affect my highlights. So that's actually really useful. If you only want to affect your shadows and not the overall lightness and darkness, instead of choosing contrast, please choose shadows. And if you want to affect your highlights, you can choose just your highlights. And again, slide to the right to make them less, to the left to kind of add in a little bit more contrast. Oop, that might actually be the opposite. Sorry. Slide to the right to lighten up. Slide to the left to lessen them. But I actually like my highlights where I am, so I'm going to keep that in the middle. So when you're done, click the check mark in the lower right-hand corner to accept these changes. So now I have an image that's black and white. I've got black tones, I have white tones, and I have all my tones in between. At this point, you can press export and save it as a copy, or save it to your phone album. If you have any questions, just let me know.